Namaskar. Today we have with us His Royal Highness Mr. Tunku Zain, who belongs to esteemed Malaysian royal family. He's a cultural advocate, artist, musician, and education leader who works at the intersection of art, policy, and international dialogue. He's founding president of Institute for Democracy and Economic Affairs, and he's Chancellor for UCSI University, where he continues to inspire young minds through art, education, and cultural understanding. Today, he's here with us under ICCR's Distinguished Visitor Program. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
How are you, sir?
Very well. This is my first time in India, and I've been here 1 week, and I've learnt a lot.
So, what are your expectations from your visit to India?
Well, I think the first is personal for me to understand this beautiful country, and India is the biggest country that I haven't been to yet before this. So I'm really absorbing all of that. But on the work front, I think it's to understand, the policy-making space here in India, how you do things, how you decide how to do things, how you share power, and how you sort of split the roles of government. That's, I think, of interest to my think tank in Malaysia. And on the other side is the academic partnerships, because I'm here with the university, UCSI, of which I'm Chancellor, and I think we're really interested to develop partnerships with Indian institutions of higher learning as well.
So my second question to you is that you have described cultural diplomacy as the most honest form of diplomacy. And from your experience, how has art and education strengthened the relationship of Malaysia and India?
Yes, it's really interesting. My first destination was Chennai. And I think culturally, there's a lot of familiarity in Malaysia of India, what we call Indian culture. I think it's a lot derived from Tamil Nadu, because for centuries, people from that part of India have been coming to what is now Malaysia. So it was really interesting to go to Chennai and meet up with my Malaysian artist friends. And we were at the Lalit Kala Academy over there to launch an exhibition of artists, painters, interpreting Odyssey, the dance. And that was, I think, that exhibition was launched there, but will move to a few different cities in India, and then come to Kuala Lumpur as well. So I hope that, this is kind of exactly the kind of arts diplomacy that fosters understanding and cooperation, and also then spreads out, right, to other areas, because the people who are at the exhibition are not only in the arts but in other sectors as well. So this is how you develop stronger people-to-people relations. And this group, the Sutra Foundation, led by Padma Shri, Datuk Ramli Ibrahim, they've been dancing around India as well, and there's so many sort of master-student relationships in this field, which has been promoted by Sutra Foundation already. Yeah.
So since you have mentioned about Sutra Foundation, Ramli Ibrahim sir has recently performed in our festival, India International Dance and Music Festival.
Yeah.
How you felt about it? How you experienced?
Well, I wasn't there for that, but I understand your Director General was there. This is amazing. Malaysia is a small country, but this is an example of how, when you have appreciation and when you have talent and you're able to showcase that in another country, then you can punch above your weight, right? And you can showcase, this is Malaysia, and then people get excited about Malaysia as a result. I think it was, one of your former High Commissioners to Malaysia, Vijay Gokhale, said about Sutra, when they are in Malaysia, they are ambassadors for India, but when they're in India, they're ambassadors for Malaysia. So I think this is the kind of cultural diplomacy that has, this is a really good example of how cultural diplomacy can be at the forefront of enabling so many other aspects of diplomacy.
So since the Sutra Foundation usually present the culture and art, what they have performed was the Radha Krishna Prem Leela, which is rooted in Indian culture, and they have performed through their understanding, the Malaysian understanding. What do you expect from India? So, what cultural understanding you expect from India?
Well, I don't think I should expect anything. I just hope that the thing with art is that you can never predict what things can emerge, right? So I think it is up to we have to promote that appreciation and see what new art forms or new interpretations emerge. As I said, I think the exhibition, the Let 1,000 Flowers Bloom is the name of the exhibition that we launched in the Lalit Kala Academy in Chennai. I think that's a wonderful example of how unexpectedly, an appreciation for Odyssey became an inspiration for visual interpretation of painting, right? And so I think that that can happen again, hopefully, when we have Indian artists, maybe adapting Malaysian art forms as well. So it's really fascinating. Or take the classical music, the Royal Orchestra, which is called Nobat. I think Nabat is a Hindi word with a connection. And yeah, these are instruments which came, I think, from this part of the world and have been adopted by the Malay royal courts. So I think so it's interesting. You have the Indian sort of heritage, which has now become sort of part of our culture. But then you also have the modern collaborations that will further enrich that, I suppose.
So talking about modern collaborations, as a musician yourself, how do you see music shaping future and cultural ties between India, especially India and Malaysia, especially through the instruments like pianos, as you're a pianist?
Yeah, well, I think as I've been saying in this session, it's the visual art and the dance that has been sort of emphasized. But I mean, music is very much my personal, art form. Malaysians love, I think, like so many parts of the world, we love Bollywood, and we're very familiar with music that is, famous through Bollywood. I mean, you go to any karaoke place in Malaysia, and you put Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, everyone will sing it because everyone knows it, right? But in terms of the classical side, yeah, there is an appreciation for that, of course. I'm really fascinated by Carnatic music and Hindustani classical music. You will have I think a lot of the percussion performances in Malaysia will have the tabla, and that's also the Punjabi percussion as well is very familiar in Malaysia. But as for piano, I have yet to explore that. I have yet to explore how Western classical music is sort of how that features in the relationship. But that's something I'd like to do. Yeah, I mean, there is Ravi Shankar's daughter is Nora Jones, right? So I think we have a lot of appreciation also on that jazz front. So yeah, but it's very preliminary for me. A lot for me to discover.
Since you have mentioned that you really like the movie Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, would you like to sing a song of it,
No.
or a dialogue?
I'm not.
A dialogue. Any dialogue that you really love, you can say.
Arabaya.
That's great. Thank you. So my next question will be, with your chancellorship at UCSI University, how can cultural exchange of ICCR programs inspire youth in policy and creativity?
So, I'm only just beginning to learn about the depth of ICCR's activities. So obviously, I'm here as on the visitors program. I think this is already a hugely beneficial program for the bilateral relationship, and also with, for example, the academic collaborations. I think that will have a real impact on students who are exchanging time and knowledge in both countries. But on the policy side, I think in some of the meetings, we've also discussed how there can be internships between think tanks. I think this is really important, right? So one of the things which is very interesting that's happening in Malaysia is this debate about federalism or about decentralization. So for any given sector, let's say education, right? where is the right level for certain decisions to be made, like the curriculum or the language of English, maths and science, or who should hire the teachers, or what is the discipline that should be in the school, or what should the students eat. I think at the moment in Malaysia now, a lot of these decisions are very central. But we're looking at how in different federal systems, including in India, certain decisions are made in a different place. So we're really interested to learn, from the practice of other countries and see what best practices are out there that we can adopt, because there's a lot of drive in Malaysia for more decentralization as well. So I think the India's example is very interesting for us, and that's something on the policy space that we can explore.
Is there any practice related to India that you really like for this purpose?
Well, I think it's more of investigating what we like.
Okay.
Right? I think so much of our institutions are similar. We both share a British heritage, in the sense of, we have a parliament with 2 chambers, we have elections, we have a judiciary, we have a constitution. I think all of these things are familiar. Yeah. I think the way we have modified that since independence has maybe, has similarities, but also has differences. Apart from the institutional comparisons, like how we deal with federalism, we can also look at the more straightforward, economic advantages of more trade, more cooperation, especially in the context of the trade war, right, between US and China. I think in Malaysia, we've been very preoccupied with that. And because we were chairing ASEAN last year, also preoccupied with ASEAN. But I think the relationship with India really needs to be accelerated, and in terms of cooperation in IT, and especially with semiconductors as well. There is very good timing, because your Prime Minister Modi will be coming to Malaysia next week. So I think this is a chance for us to upgrade the relationship in many ways.
I'm sure we are actually looking forward to it. Our next question is, looking ahead, how might deeper collaboration between Malaysian institution and ICCR help the younger generation, the next generation coming forward?
Well, I think as long as ICCR continues to be active in promoting cultural activities, then we will continue. And of course, with the involvement of artists themselves, like Sutra Foundation, this will sustain cultural appreciation into the next generation. And I think this brings enormous benefits for both sides.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. You were very friendly. I really love talking to you. Thank you for coming here.
Likewise.
Thank you for coming to ICCR.
Thank you.
I hope you like this conversation with His Royal Highness, Mr. Tunku Zain. ICCR is committed to strengthening people-to-people ties through culture, education, and art and dialogue. To watch more of such conversation with internationally prominent people, please subscribe our channel.